You do not meet the minimum cognitive threshold to justify deserving to even exist.
Oh no, I'm here to talk about the flat Earth.
Okay. Is there anything you can do
Yeah.
about the
My
sitcom
bad.
being
Go ahead.
filmed
Sorry.
in the background or not?
The who? The back noise?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I'll just mute whenever I'm not talking. I got you.
All right. Well, what do you wanna say?
Well, I mean, long story short, I think your entire, heliocentric model revolves around your idea of gravity is real, which it's never been proven. So I think that you can never
Then
really
how
affirm
come
that
we
it's a
detected
globe.
gravitation? Then how come we detected gravitational waves? And how come when they took
With LIGO?
photo plates of the solar eclipse, we were able to see stars that are behind the edge of the sun?
With
And how
LIGO,
come
or
clocks and satellites orbiting around the Earth have to tick at a different rate to account for general relativity?
can you show me a clock orbiting around the Earth?
I can't show you a
Okay.
penguin. Do they not exist?
Well, I think we've all seen a penguin. I think you're being disingenuous,
I've seen a clock before.
but you said it's orbiting around Earth.
So this is the thing you guys get made fun of. Your response is nah-uh. So if you are going to
I asked for
deny
evidence. That's not.
yes, and I gave you evidence, and then you just said satellites don't exist. That was
No
your
one-
response.
I never
so
said that,
how
sir.
can we have a conversation when I tell you the evidence, you just say that the evidence doesn't exist?
So no.
What are we
one more-
supposed to do?
I asked if you could show me. Never denied your evidence.
What are we supposed to do? When I tell you about the evidence and you just say that satellites don't exist, what are we supposed to do?
I said, can you show me this? No one said it
And
didn't
I
exist. You
did.
can't
I
listen, buddy.
explained to you the evidence, and you said that the evidence doesn't exist. So
I
what
said,
are
can
we
you
supposed
show
to
me
do?
it being in orbit?
And I did. I explained to you the evidence.
No one asked for an explanation. I asked you to show me. You're clearly incoherent.
So unless I can get you a picture, unless I can take my phone and go into space and show you a satellite, you're going to deny that evidence.
Do you have to be in space to show me a picture?
So you just want me to go to Google and type in a satellite?
I mean, sure. Yeah. Let's see what you're looking at.
Okay, my phone is affixed to the stand that it's on. I can't
Okay.
move my phone or do
I believe
anything
you.
like that. So,
Okay.
do you deny that satellites exist?
Nope. I believe satellites do exist, sir. I just don't
Okay.
believe that they're orbiting around your space. They're on a helium balloon.
Okay, well, that's wrong. We have satellites and they have atomic clocks in them and they tick at different rates. This is how GPS works. If the atomic clocks in satellites didn't tick at a different rate, GPS wouldn't work because it could not coordinate your position and time. So is your response to that to just say, no, that's not real?
Are you trying to say different time zones is equivalent to a globe? Is that what you're saying?
I didn't say anything about time zones. I said that the satellites, the GPS satellites, have to track position and time, and they have to tick at a different rate because they move so fast that they experience time differently as a principle of special and general relativity, I guess. So, are you simply just claiming that that is all fake? Because if it is, then I'm going to move on.
Well, I asked for. I think you already answered that you can't even move your phone. You said so. I don't think we're gonna get anywhere with that.
So you're just claiming that it's fake, and unless I can show you a picture of it, then that doesn't work. That's fine. The LIGO
Sorry for asking
Observatory,
for evidence. Yeah, I
the
can show you
LIGO,
LIGO. I've
the
read everything
LIGO
about LIGO.
Observatory detected gravitational waves in 2017.
Not
Are
true.
you simply claiming that that is fake?
Nope, not true. Actually, what they do is they do it's actually a bunch of math that they do. They try to. Long story short, they do a bunch of math to try to get an accurate reading, and they base the reading off of the number that it's closest to. There wasn't a real reading, just so you know.
Okay. And how do you know that?
Because I read the entire research report on LIGO. Actually, matter of fact, this is my backup account.
What
But,
was the
I would-
research report called?
It's literally on LIGO. Look up LIGO. You can. Well, you're probably not gonna do it, but you can look up LIGO flaws, and you'll see everything that they messed up on.
LIGO flaws, and from SCRPT.
I mean, there's a bunch of places actually. It's not just that. But the way they calculate it is they take a bunch of different numbers and they pretty much see which one's the most common number, and they go based off of that.
So you're claiming that physicists built this observatory with the goal of detecting gravitational waves, yet they knew the entire time that they actually can't detect gravitational waves, and therefore they didn't detect gravitational waves in 2017. That's your
Correct.
claim.
Yeah. Gravity is still a theory, but I
Okay,
don't know if you're
so
still
it's
confused.
so
with it.
all of the evidence is fake. So now I don't really know what exactly we can do. Do you know that things will weigh a little bit less on the tops of very tall buildings than they do at the base of the building?
You said they're gonna weigh less.
Yes.
The top of a building, it's something will weigh less. Can you give me like what, a penny or a human? What are you talking about?
It doesn't matter what it is. Things will weigh a tiny bit less on the top of a very tall building compared to on the ground. Are you aware of that?
I can maybe assume a different pressure, but I've personally never heard of that now.
So that is exactly consistent. You got to mute yourself when you're not talking. It's unbearable. That is exactly consistent with gravity, because the farther you get from the center of mass for the Earth, the weaker the gravitational force is. It's subtle because Earth's radius is enormous, but that's exactly consistent with the theory of gravity. So what's your explanation?
Two things. One, you never isolated gravity because you guys claim it's too weak to isolate.
You
Two,
can't
never
isolate.
actually-
You can't isolate
God.
something like that. You can't isolate electromagnetic
know what, I can
radiation
talk, buddy.
either. When you say stupid shit, I'm going to interrupt you. You can't isolate sound. You can't isolate electromagnetic radiation.
Yes, you can
can't
isolate
do anything
electrostatics.
like
Yes,
that.
you can. Who told you?
No,
can
you
isolate
absolutely
electrostatics?
cannot isolate sound.
No one said sound. I
Give
said
one
electrostatics.
You can isolate
Are you dumb?
electrostatics.
Do you not know
Go
what?
ahead.
Do you know what isolate means? You can't. I can
I
isolate
guarantee that
electrostatics, electromagnetism.
Buddy, I guarantee that you don't know what it means. What does it mean?
All right. So first, I asked you, can you isolate gravity? You said it's too weak.
I have never said that. This is a complete non-starter. You don't
No, you
isolate a
guys say
force
that.
like gravity and have it existing on its own to the point where you can study it. You can't do that with
How can you-
anything. You can't do it with electromagnetic radiation, electrostatics, sound, anything.
So you can't
If you
isolate
think that
it.
that's the case, then give one example of electrostatics, like you said. Give an example of isolating electrostatics.
Cool. Rubbing a balloon on your hair. Cool. But second of all, when you real quick,
How is that isolating electrostatics?
do you know where the charge is on the balloon?
How is that isolating electrostatics?
One. First of all, do you mind if I just like continue what I was saying before you move on?
No, you're
my
going to
part?
tell me how you isolate electrostatics.
All right, cool. I got you. So one with the example I gave you, right? When you rub a balloon on your hair, right? It's
Yes,
gonna create a
you
static
already said
charge,
that. Tell me how
right?
that is isolating electrostatics.
Because we can. What do you mean? You can see where this. We can see where the charges are and the forces. What are you talking about? It's gonna be.
Tell
It's not
us
gonna be
what
in the
it
back of
means
the
to
balloon.
isolate something.
So, are you not gonna let me explain like how you isolate electrostatics?
Tell us what it means to isolate something.
You're isolating something is when you're literally co-founding it a certain force to not be any other force.
Tell
Which is
us
what we
what
can
it
do.
means
You
to
can't do that for
isolate
gravity.
something.
I can individualize a force like electrostatics. I can isolate it from any other force.
Tell us what it means to isolate something.
I just told you what it means.
You gave a completely incoherent, rambling explanation. What does it mean?
When you isolate something, you're isolating the force to be no other force. That's what it means. You're
Okay,
isolating that.
that's not too bad. Okay, so when rubbing your hair on a balloon, how do you know that there are no other forces present, that it's only electrostatics?
Because you can dictate what electrostatic charges do compared to any other force, like magnetism. Can you name me another force that could make your hair stick up?
That's not the question. The question
you
is,
can.
how
That's what
did
I
you
thought.
isolate it?
But you can't do that.
Okay. Can metals hold a charge?
You're getting confused. You're missing the part where you can't
I'm not
demonstrate.
confused. You're just stupid.
You're claiming
Can
gravity is
metals
real.
hold a charge?
You're claiming gravity is real, sir.
Can metals hold a charge?
Can metals hold a charge? Yeah, metal can hold a charge.
So if I rub my hair on a balloon and I hold that balloon up to a boat in the ocean, will it pull the boat toward me?
Oh my God, this guy is disingenuous.
So I
as hell.
haven't isolated electrostatics by doing that, have I? Because there is
buddy,
friction and there is weight and there are all kinds of other forces going on at the same time, aren't
sir,
there?
Sir, you're making a
There
claim that
are
gravity's
other
real.
forces going on at the same time, aren't there?
So how did you? Fine, you know, I'll
There
say- I'll
are
say-
other forces going on at the same time, aren't there?
So can we not say the same thing
There
for
are
gravity?
other forces going on at the same time. This is a yes or no question, aren't there?
I just conceived. Yeah.
Okay, great. So you haven't isolated electrostatics,
but I'm-
so this point about isolating gravity is a moot point. Thank you.
Well, how would you personally? All right, you know, fine, right, cool. You know, if gravity is real, right? How would you personally individualize it as an individual force that acts upon bodies? How would you,
You
do
can
that?
come up... Sure. For example, you could weigh something at the bottom versus the top of a building, and if its weight decreases and weight is an effect of gravity, then that confirms that a gravitational force is acting on it.
Because the
That
weight
would be
changes
one
from
way.
the top to the bottom.
Sorry, what?
You say the weight changes from the top to the bottom.
Yes. In a way that is consistent with gravity.
Well, now, which gravity are we talking about? Are you talking about your Newtonian, or which one? Are you talking about Einstein theory of relativity? Which
doesn't
gravity? There's a bunch
matter.
of different gravities. No, it does matter. There's two different types of gravities.
They're really not two different
Oh my
kinds
gosh.
of gravity.
And the fact that you think this, I know you don't know shit, Mr. Peterson.
That's
One's a
fine.
relativity- one's
You
relative-
don't even know how to isolate electrostatics, so I'm
can't
really not
even-
worried
you
about
can't
a
even-
cheeky insult
you-
from you.
You can't even, well, in my defense, you can't even explain it, but,
Today, Junior.
I mean, I speak Spanish, my bad, buddy.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but, like I said, right, you can't individualize it to be an individual vector of a force. No, you can't
Yeah,
do
and
that.
neither can
Two,
you.
well, that's not true.
No,
That's
you
not
have
true.
no alternative. We went over that. Do you want to talk about how you can't make the boat move with your electrostatics?
Well, in my
Do you want
defense,
to talk about that again?
Do you want to talk about the shape of the Earth? Like, there's no
If you don't want to
curvature,
talk about
or-
gravity anymore, then sure.
I mean, there's no point in talking about it. It's a theory. I don't need to prove.
Yeah,
I don't need to
it
prove
has been proven
It's
scientifically.
never been
That's what
proven.
a theory is.
Oh my
Yes, it
god, a theory
has.
cannot. Oh my god, are you serious? A theory is not something proven. A theory
Yes,
is something
it
that
is.
hasn't been proven. You donut. Oh,
Yes, it is.
Google right. I'll cash out anybody right now who can do somebody. I'll cash out
Hey,
right now.
Applejacks, do
Who
atoms
thinks
exist?
a theory is proven?
Applejacks, do atoms exist? Oh,
You think a theory is proven, Mr. Peterson?
oh, do atoms exist? Oh,
My God, Mr. Peterson, you think
do atoms
theory-
exist? Do
This is
atoms
actually hilarious.
exist?
This is hilarious.
So you
So
you
pivot,
have
go
a
ahead,
very
pivot,
odd way of
pivot, go ahead.
responding to yes or no questions. Do atoms exist?
Sir, you said a theory is proven.
Do
you
atoms
dumbass.
exist?
This guy.
Do atoms exist?
Do atoms exist? I'm not talking about atoms.
So I have a question. Do atoms exist?
You haven't even answered your own question.
So, okay, changing topics slightly, I have this one question, which is, do atoms exist?
Do atoms exist? Maybe.
That's your position, that atoms might exist.
It's an atom theory. But right now, with your 8 inches of curvature per mile square, I can literally debunk that. That's a fact.
Okay.
That's a theory. That's
No,
not
we're
proposed
still
position.
talking about gravity. So, do you know what a bubble level is?
You need to understand what the theory is and a fact is,
Applejacks,
buddy.
do you know what a bubble level is?
A theory can be proven, but a theory is not proven. You don't know.
Applejacks, do you know what a bubble level is?
I'm confused why I keep pivoting.
I am talking about gravity still, so I haven't
You said a
pivoted.
theory's proven,
Do
you
you
goose.
know what a bubble level is?
Yes, I know what a bubble level is.
So if I hold it level, the bubble, as long as it's
Which is
level,
out to the
which
center,
means
yes.
perpendicular to the acceleration of gravity is what that means. And
Oh my
here's how
god,
we can
this
prove
guy
it.
is in a
Oh
religion.
my god. It's okay, Applejacks. I know you're scared and you don't want to go to these dark and mysterious places, but we're going to go there together. I'll even hold your hand.
Yeah, hold
So,
my hand. Hold my
it's
pocket while you're at it.
why does it read level and what does it mean? It means it's perpendicular to the acceleration of gravity. Now, how can we prove that? Do you know that carnival thing that spins you around real
Do
fast?
parallel lines curve, buddy?
I don't know why you're pivoting right
I love
now,
how
but the
Globey's talk
question
about
is,
everything but
do
the
you
shape of
know
Earth. It's
that carnival
fascinating.
ride that makes you spin really fast?
Yeah, I think so. There's a
So
couple.
if you were to hold a level in that, what would the bubble do?
Where it depends where you're holding it.
You're going to hold it. So, okay,
During
we
the
can ask
ride, are
this
you holding it?
question.
Are you holding it in the middle? Where are you holding it?
You're holding it while you're on the right. So let's ask a different question, right? I'm gonna reformulate this. This is our bubble level, right? That's what it looked. Ah, shit, you can't really see it. Okay, that's our bubble level. That's what it looks like. How do you get the bubble to stay in the middle while you're on that spinning carnival ride?
To be leveled.
How do you get the bubble in the middle while you're on that spinning carnival ride? Because
Well, I told you, I don't know. The bubble's in the middle where
okay,
it's leveled.
you do know. Maybe you can't think of how, but I can get you through this. So before it starts spinning, you would hold it completely parallel with the ground. You agree, right?
I mean, when it's leveled, it's going to be flat. Yes, I agree.
Parallel with the ground. Now, as the carnival thing starts to spin, it's going to take that bubble and it's going to push it off to the side. So I'm going to have to tilt my level in order to get it to rest in the middle, aren't I?
Congratulations.
But my acceleration is outward, is it not? Because the thing spins like this.
Yeah, buddy.
Yes, okay. But I don't hold the level. If the acceleration's this way, then that should stand to reason that I have to hold it perpendicular to it to get it to be level. But I don't. I hold it at an angle. What does that mean? We have vectors here. We have an acceleration outward, but that doesn't cause the bubble to, it doesn't cause it so that I have to hold it completely straight up and down for it to work. I have to hold it at an angle because we have to balance forces. So there is an outward accelerating force causing the bubble to move,
So,
but there's
is this
also a
entire conversation gonna be about your
downward,
theory?
I'm almost done, but there is also a downward accelerating force acting on it as well, which is why I only have to tilt it at a slight angle, not all the way. What is the downward accelerating force?
I mean, you claim it's gravity.
It is gravity. Yep.
No, it's not
There we
gravity.
go.
It's called relative density.
Relative density is not a downward acceleration.
No, it's
Thank you
not.
for
But
trying.
when you put density
So,
and
we have an
electrostatics
outward
and buoyancy, yes,
acceleration.
it does work.
We have an outward acceleration being balanced by a downward, where the bubble ends up is a balance of two vectors, a horizontal vector and a downward vector. That horizontal vector is an acceleration. We need a downward vector of acceleration to account for and balance it. We could
Then
even
Peterson.
measure the g-forces of that horizontal whatever and figure out what that angle would be. So we know it's a downward acceleration. That's
No,
what it is.
yes, you're
because
right,
the
but-
outward, I'm literally still talking. We know the outward acceleration is causing the bubble to move, so we need a downward acceleration to account for why we have to balance the bubble at that particular angle. What is the downward acceleration?
Okay, so Mr. Peterson, how come doesn't your gravity work for
What
any other
is
gas?
the downward acceleration?
Bro, we already went over this.
What is... Oh, it's density? Is density an
you're
acceleration?
you're claiming it was gravity.
And you say it's not, so I'm asking you, what is the downward acceleration?
Well, first of all, I never said it was just density by itself.
What is it?
You can put a couple of things together, right? So there's a lot. It's
What
not
is
just
it?
density. You can put electrostatics.
What
you can put
is it?
The density.
Electrostatics
you
is
can
not an
and you can put
acceleration.
magnetism. You can also put magnetism.
So what is
yes,
it?
it is.
Electrostatics is an acceleration.
I can't even show anything on my bed. It's my backup. I have a couple memes for you, but
So what is the charge of the
me try to
ground
turn it on.
and the charge of the bubble then?
well, I don't know the charge of the bubble, dude.
Great. So you don't actually have an explanation.
Dude,
for
I
anything.
don't know what the hell this is proving that the Earth is
Dude,
a globe.
I just here. Let me just
How is
say
this proving
something.
the Earth is a globe?
It's a proof of gravity. But I just gotta say something real
it's-
quick. It just
Jesus.
hold on, dude. It just astounds me to witness the depths of your intellectual vacuity from which you operate. It's as if you have achieved the remarkable feat of navigating through life with all the cognitive ability of a sloth with CTE, just blissfully unaware that your mental faculties, or really lack thereof, possess the sophistication and refinement of a turd in a hallway. I mean, really. You could argue that if we added your IQ to the IQ of all 8 billion humans alive on this planet, we would end up with a negative number. I would suggest that you consider the possibility that you are, in fact, a houseplant. You do not meet the minimum cognitive threshold to justify deserving to even exist. And for that reason, we are
Man,
done
so you
here.
didn't prove nothing the entire.
Holy fucking shit.